My name is Daniel Torres. I thought 20 years of marriage meant I knew my wife, Sophia. Then I came home early and heard a stranger's voice in our bedroom. What I uncovered shattered my world. Love, trust, family. But that betrayal was just the start of a nightmare that nearly cost me everything. This is how I lost it all, fought back, and rebuilt my life from the ashes. My name is Daniel Torres, and at 42, I thought I had life figured out. I'm a logistics manager for a major retail chain in Miami, orchestrating supply chains across the Southeast with a precision that's earned me respect and a shot at a regional director role. My days are long, coordinating shipments from Jacksonville to Atlanta, but the payoff is a comfortable home in Coral Gables for my family. My daughter, Isabella, 16, is a sharp-witted junior with dreams of becoming a journalist. My son, Lucas, 12, lives for soccer, his energy lighting up any field. My wife, Sophia, 38, works part-time at a community center, organizing after-school programs. To our neighbors, we're the picture of stability, a family that's made it through hard work and love. But last Tuesday, everything I believed about my life cracked open. I'd been in Tampa, untangling a delayed shipment that had retailers breathing down my neck. The issue resolved faster than expected, so I decided to surprise Sophia with an early return. It was a rare chance for a family night, maybe pizza, a movie, something to remind us we're more than schedules and routines. I pulled into our driveway at 4:30 p.m., the sun still high over Coral Gables. The house was quiet, no kids running out to greet me, which wasn't unusual. Isabella was likely at debate club, Lucas at soccer practice. But Sophia's car was there, parked slightly off-center, as if she'd rushed in. I grabbed my bag and stepped inside, expecting to hear her humming in the kitchen or typing away on her laptop. Instead, silence greeted me, broken by a low murmur from upstairs. My pulse quickened. Sophia wasn't one for daytime naps, and the kids weren't home. I set my bag down and climbed the stairs, each step heavier than the last. The sound grew clearer. Two voices, one Sophia's, soft and playful, the other a man's, deep and unfamiliar. My stomach twisted as I reached the top, standing just outside our bedroom door. Through a narrow gap, I saw Sophia sitting on the edge of the bed, her posture relaxed in a way I hadn't seen in months. Across from her was a man, mid-40s, stocky, leaning close. "Mi amor," he said, his voice dripping with intimacy. "Daniel's always at work. We've got ours." I froze, my hand gripping the doorframe. Sophia laughed, a genuine, carefree sound I barely recognized. "You're right, Carlos. He's married to that job." The casual dismissal hit like a punch. 20 years of marriage, of grinding through overtime to pay for this house, Isabella's college fund, Lucas' soccer camps, and she reduced it to a joke. I didn't burst in. Instead, I pulled out my phone, hands shaking, and hit record. Their voices carried on, oblivious. "What if he suspects something?" Sophia asked, a hint of worry breaking her tone. "Him," Carlos scoffed. "Guy's too busy with spreadsheets to notice." I backed away, descending the stairs silently, my mind racing. In the kitchen, I stopped the recording and sat, staring at the phone. The evidence was undeniable, but it felt unreal. Sophia, my partner through 2 decades, was betraying me in our own home. I couldn't confront her, not yet. I needed to think, to understand the scope of this. I dialed my brother, Miguel, who picked up on the second ring. "Daniel, you okay? You sound off." "I heard a man in our bedroom with Sophia," I said, my voice low. "I recorded it. His name's Carlos." Miguel didn't hesitate. "Don't do anything rash. You've got proof, but you need more to protect yourself and the kids. Get a professional to dig into this." He gave me the number for Ana Vega, a private investigator he'd heard about through a friend, a former cop with a reputation for discretion. I called her immediately, arranging a meeting for the next morning. Then I waited. At 5:45, the front door opened, and footsteps hurried out. I peeked through the blinds to see a man, Carlos, kissing Sophia briefly on the porch before driving off in a black SUV. She came back inside, humming, and started prepping dinner as if nothing had happened. "Hey," I said, stepping into the kitchen, forcing calm into my voice. "You're home early," Sophia replied, not turning from the counter where she chopped onions. "Everything okay?" "Yeah, just a slow day," I lied, studying her. She looked composed, no trace of guilt. "Kids at their activities?" "Isabella's at debate, Lucas at practice," she said, her tone clipped. I nodded, retreating to the living room, my mind already on Ana Vega. This wasn't just about betrayal. It was about protecting my kids and the life we'd built. The next morning, I met Anna at a diner near downtown Miami. She was all business, her sharp eyes scanning me as she slid into the booth. Miguel filled me in, she said, pulling out a notepad. Tell me what you know about this Carlos guy. I shared the recording and what I'd overheard. Anna listened, jotting notes. Here's the deal, Daniel. I'll tell Sophia, document her movements, and run a background check on Carlos. But you need to be ready for what I find. Truth like this can burn. I nodded. I need evidence that holds up, legal, airtight. For me and my kids. Anna agreed, promising a report within days. As I left the diner, the weight of what lay ahead settled in. This wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the start of a fight I hadn't chosen but wouldn't lose. The days after hearing Carlos in my bedroom were a blur of routine and dread. I went to work, managed shipments, and smiled for Isabella and Lucas, but my mind was a battlefield. Ana Vega, the private investigator, was now my lifeline, digging into Sophia's secret life while I played the part of the oblivious husband. By Thursday, Ana called me to a coffee shop in Coconut Grove, her voice clipped with urgency. Got something big, Daniel. Meet me at noon. I arrived early, the weight of uncertainty pressing harder with each hour. Ana slid into the booth, dropping a folder on the table. Carlos Ruiz, she began, flipping it open. 45, owns a gym in South Beach. Married to Maria Alvarez for 10 months. She doesn't know about Sophia. He's got a rap sheet, 2 restraining orders from ex-girlfriends, a dismissed fraud charge. And here's the kicker, his gym's a front. Bank records show irregular cash deposits, likely money laundering. My chest tightened. Sophia wasn't just cheating. She was tangled in something criminal. Ana pushed photos across the table. Sophia and Carlos entering a hotel on Collins Avenue, time-stamped Monday afternoon. Another showed them at a cafe, his hand on hers. They meet 3 times a week, Ana said. Hotels, restaurants, even a quick stop at his gym. She's in deep. I stared at the photos, the reality slicing through me. What's her role in the money thing? I asked. Ana shrugged. Not clear yet, but she's been depositing cash into a new account, small amounts, under the radar. Could be complicity or coercion. I'll keep digging. I nodded, my resolve hardening. Get me everything. I need to protect my kids. Ana agreed, promising more by the weekend. As she left, I sat there, the folder burning in my hands. Sophia's betrayal wasn't just personal. It could drag our family into a legal mess. Back home, Sophia's behavior screamed guilt. She took calls in the backyard, her voice hushed, and locked her phone when I entered the room. Once, I caught her texting at 2 a.m., claiming it was work stuff. Isabella noticed too. At dinner Friday, she pushed her plate away and asked, Mom, why are you always on your phone lately? Sophia froze, then laughed it off. Just coordinating events, Mija. Isabella's eyes narrowed. She wasn't buying it. Lucas, oblivious, rambled about his next soccer game, but I saw the strain in Isabella's glance. My daughter was too sharp, and I hated lying to her about the tension choking our home. Work became my escape, but even there, cracks showed. A shipment mix-up in Orlando cost us a major client, and my boss, Javier, pulled me aside. Daniel, you're slipping. The regional director spot's on the line. Get it together. I promised to focus, but my head was with Anna's photos, Sophia's lies, and the kids' futures. That night, I checked Sophia's car while she slept, finding a receipt for a South Beach hotel dated 2 days prior. It matched Anna's evidence. The betrayal was real, documented, undeniable. By Sunday, Anna delivered a bombshell. She called me to a park bench near the marina. Sophia's account received a $5,000 transfer from an offshore company tied to Carlos, she said, handing me bank records. She's moving money for him, Daniel. This isn't just an affair, she's an accomplice. My blood ran cold. If the feds caught wind, Sophia could face jail time, and our kids could lose both parents to this mess. What's next? I asked. Anna leaned forward. I'm tailing Carlos tomorrow. He's meeting a guy at a warehouse in Hialeah. Could be a lead on his operation. You want me to tip off the cops? I hesitated. Not yet. I need to confront Sophia first, for the kids' sake. Monday morning, I sent Isabella and Lucas to school, then waited for Sophia to leave for the community center. She kissed my cheek, her touch hollow, and drove off. I called in sick, my hands trembling as I dialed my brother Miguel. She's in some illegal scheme with this guy, I told him, pacing the kitchen. Money laundering, maybe worse. Miguel's voice was steady. Protect the kids first. Confront her when you've got enough to keep custody. And don't lose your job over this, Daniel. He was right. My career was the anchor for Isabella and Lucas. I couldn't let Sophia's choices sink us all. That afternoon, Isabella came home early from debate club, her expression stormy. Dad, something's wrong with Mom, isn't it? She asked, dropping her backpack. I wanted to shield her, but her gaze demanded truth. We're having some issues, sweetheart, I said carefully. I'm handling it. She crossed her arms. Don't lie to me. I heard her on the phone last night, laughing with some guy. Who is he? My heart sank. She was piecing it together. I'll explain soon, I promised. Just trust me for now. She nodded, unconvinced, and headed upstairs. I knew I couldn't keep her in the dark much longer. Anna's next report came Tuesday evening, via encrypted email. She'd followed Carlos to the Hialeah warehouse, where he met a man with known ties to a local cartel. Photos showed them exchanging briefcases. This is bigger than I thought, Anna wrote. Sophia's at risk of serious charges if she's linked to these guys. Advise you act fast. I stared at the email, my mind racing. Confronting Sophia now could push her to run to Carlos, entangling her further. But waiting risked everything. My family, my job, our future. I decided to gather one more piece of evidence, something to force Sophia's hand without destroying the kids. Anna agreed to track Sophia's next meeting with Carlos, set for Wednesday at a motel off Biscayne Boulevard. As I lay awake that night, Lucas crept into my room, clutching his soccer ball. Dad, is Mom leaving us? He asked, his voice small. The question gutted me. No, buddy. I lied, pulling him close. We're just figuring some things out. He nodded, but his eyes held fear. I vowed then to end this. Sophia's lies, Carlos' schemes, all of it. Tomorrow, I'd have Anna's final report. Tomorrow, I'd take back control. Wednesday morning hit like a freight train. I barely slept, Anna's latest report burning in my mind. Sophia and Carlos were meeting at a motel off Biscayne Boulevard at noon. My plan was set. Confront Sophia with the evidence, protect Isabella and Lucas, and keep our family from sinking into her mess. I called my boss, Javier, claiming a family emergency to buy the day. His tone was sharp. Sort it out, Daniel. You're on thin ice with the promotion. I hung up, refocusing. Work could wait. My kids couldn't. Anna texted at 11:45 a.m. confirming Sophia's arrival at the motel. Got eyes on them, she wrote. Photos incoming. Cops are sniffing around Carlos' gym. Feds might be involved. My pulse surged. If federal agents were closing in, Sophia's role in Carlos' money laundering could land her in prison. I drove to the motel, parking a block away. Anna met me in a diner across the street, sliding over a USB drive. Video of them entering, plus more bank records, she said. Sophia deposited $3,000 yesterday, wired from a shell company tied to Carlos' warehouse guy. She's not just a bystander. She's moving their cash. I gripped the drive, my resolve steeling. Stay close, I told Anna. I'm ending this today. At 1:30 p.m., Sophia emerged from the motel, Carlos trailing her. They parted without a glance, her driving toward Coral Gables, him toward South Beach. I followed Sophia, keeping my distance. She stopped at a gas station, checking her phone obsessively. I parked nearby, my hands tight on the wheel. This wasn't the woman I'd married. She was a stranger, complicit in a criminal's game. I drove home, knowing she'd be there soon. The kids were at school, giving me the window I needed. Sophia walked in at 2:15, startled to see me at the kitchen table, Anna's folder open in front of me. Photos, bank records, motel timestamps. Daniel, she said, her voice catching. Why aren't you at work? I slid the folder toward her. Sit down. We're done pretending. She froze, eyes darting to the evidence. What is this? She asked, but her trembling hands betrayed her. Proof you're cheating with Carlos Ruiz, I said, my tone steady. Proof you're laundering money for his operation. Hotel receipts, wire transfers, warehouse meetings. It's over, Sophia. Her face crumpled, but she didn't deny it. It wasn't supposed to be like this, she whispered. Carlos said it was just business, a way to secure our future. Our future. I snapped. You're helping a criminal while I'm keeping this family together. Did you think about Isabella? Lucas? What happens when the feds tie you to his cartel buddies? She flinched, tears spilling. I didn't know it was that serious. He promised it was safe. I shook my head. Pack your things. You're leaving tonight. The kids stay with me. Sophia begged. Please, Daniel, don't tell them. I'll stop. I'll fix this. But I was done with promises. You've got an hour, I said, pointing to the door. As Sophia packed, Isabella burst through the front door, home early from school. Dad, what's going on? She demanded, seeing the tension. Her eyes landed on the photos, and she gasped. Mom, is this true? Sophia froze, suitcase in hand. I stepped forward. Sweetheart, your mom's made some bad choices. She's moving out for now. Isabella's face hardened. You're cheating? After everything Dad does for us? Sophia reached for her, but Isabella pulled away. Don't. Just go. Sophia left, sobbing, her car vanishing down the street. I hugged Isabella, her body rigid with hurt. I'm sorry you found out like this, I said. We'll get through it. That evening, Lucas came home from soccer, sensing the shift. Where's Mom? He asked, his voice small. I sat him down with Isabella. She's staying somewhere else for a while, I said. We're having adult problems, but you two are my priority. Lucas' eyes welled up. Is it my fault? I knelt beside him. Never. This is on us, not you. Isabella squeezed his hand, her strength surprising me. But I knew the real storm was coming. Sophia's legal troubles could unravel everything. By Friday, Anna called with a twist. Carlos got arrested last night, she said. Feds raided his gym, found ledgers linking him to the cartel. Sophia's name came up in their files. They're looking for her. My stomach dropped. I'd wanted Sophia out, not in jail. I contacted my lawyer, Elena Morales, who advised reporting Sophia's involvement anonymously to control the narrative. It'll protect the kid's custody case, she said. I sent the tip through Anna, including the USB drive's evidence. Hours later, police picked up Sophia at her sister's place in Tampa. She was questioned but released pending charges, her role still unclear. Isabella overheard my call with Elena and confronted me. Mom's in trouble with the police, isn't she? She asked, her voice sharp. I nodded. She got mixed up with someone dangerous. I'm making sure you and Lucas are safe. Isabella's eyes blazed. Everyone at school's talking. They saw Mom with that guy on social media. It's humiliating. I pulled her close. You don't deserve this. I'll fix it. But inside, I was reeling. My promotion was slipping, the kids were hurting, and Sophia's choices were a ticking bomb. I had to act fast to shield my family from the fallout. The weeks after Sophia's departure were a tightrope walk. Isabella and Lucas were shaken, their trust fractured by their mother's betrayal. I threw myself into stabilizing our home, cutting work hours to be there when they got back from school. But the chaos Sophia left behind wasn't done with us. Her name surfaced in the federal investigation into Carlos money laundering, and whispers about her affair spread through Coral Gables like wildfire. Isabella faced the worst of it. Classmates shared blurry photos of Sophia and Carlos online, turning her into the target of cruel gossip. One night, she slammed her laptop shut, tears streaming. I can't go to school tomorrow, Dad. Everyone knows. I arranged for Isabella to see a counselor at school, hoping it would help her process the humiliation. Lucas, meanwhile, grew quiet, his usual chatter about soccer replaced by sullen stares. I enrolled him in therapy too, but his anger simmered, spilling out in outbursts over homework or small chores. Why'd you make her leave? He shouted one evening, storming to his room. I let him cool off, knowing he needed time to grieve the mother he thought he knew. My own grief was buried under logistics. Meetings with my lawyer, Elena Morales, to secure custody and shield the kids from Sophia's legal mess. Work was another casualty. A botched delivery to Charlotte cost my company thousands, and Javier called me into his office. Daniel, you're distracted. The regional director role's going to someone else. The news stung, but I nodded. I understand. Family comes first. I dipped into savings to cover therapy and legal fees, the financial strain tightening each day. Elena warned me Sophia's case could drag on, especially with a new twist. During questioning, Sophia revealed she was pregnant with Carlos' child. The revelation hit like a shockwave. It complicated the divorce, raised questions about her stability, and made custody negotiations trickier. Elena advised, push for full custody now. Her choices show she's unfit. I allowed Sophia supervised visits, hoping to ease Lucas' pain, but both kids refused to see her. Isabella was blunt. She chose that guy over us. I'm done. Lucas just shook his head, clutching his soccer ball. I relayed their decision to Sophia through Elena, who reported Sophia's devastation but no pushback. She'd moved to Tampa permanently, living with her sister while awaiting her court date. The feds charged her as an accessory to Carlos' operation, though her lawyer argued she was coerced. I didn't care about her excuses. My focus was keeping Isabella and Lucas whole. Then Isabella spiraled. I got a call from the Coral Gables police at 10 p.m. on a Friday. Mr. Torres, your daughter's in custody for shoplifting at a mall, Officer Reyes said. My heart sank as I drove to the station, leaving Lucas with my brother, Miguel. Isabella sat in a holding room, eyes red, a defiant edge to her posture. I just wanted to feel something else, she admitted when I sat beside her. The charges were minor, a warning and community service, but the incident shook me. My straight-A daughter was drowning in her mother's scandal. We drove home in silence, and I resolved to be more present, no matter the cost. At home, I sat Isabella down. Talk to me, I said. What's going on? She hesitated, then spilled. School's a nightmare. People whisper, post about mom, laugh behind my back. I feel invisible, Dad. Her words cut deep. I'd been so focused on Sophia's fallout that I'd missed Isabella's pain. You're not invisible, I said. You're stronger than this. We'll face it together. I arranged extra counseling sessions and spoke to her school about the bullying, but the damage was done. Isabella's confidence was fraying, and I feared losing her to anger like I'd almost lost myself. Ana Vega's final report came a week later. Carlos pleaded guilty to money laundering and racketeering, facing years in prison. Sophia's plea deal was pending. She'd likely get probation if she cooperated. Ana added, she's cut ties with Carlos, but she's a wreck. The pregnancy's high risk, and she's got no support in Tampa. I felt a pang of sympathy, but pushed it aside. Sophia's choices had consequences, and my kids were my priority. I thanked Ana and paid her final invoice, draining more of my savings. The financial hit hurt, but the evidence she'd gathered strengthened my custody case. One evening, Lucas crept into the kitchen while I reviewed legal documents. Dad, will Mom go to jail? He asked, his voice trembling. I set the papers aside. I don't know, buddy. She made bad decisions, but I'm making sure you and Isabella are safe. He nodded, then asked, can we still be a family? The question broke me. We are a family, I said, hugging him. You, me, Isabella, we're enough. But as he walked away, I knew the road ahead was steep. Sophia's mistakes had fractured us, and rebuilding would take more than promises. I had to show up, every day, no matter how hard it got. 2 years after Sophia's departure, our lives had settled into a new rhythm, scarred but steady. The divorce finalized after a grueling 9-month battle. Sophia's plea deal landed her 2 years of probation for her role in Carlos' money laundering, with strict conditions barring her from contacting his associates. She relinquished custody, agreeing to supervised visits, but Isabella and Lucas wanted no part of her. The pain of her abandonment lingered, and I respected their choice to keep their distance. I'd taken a demotion at work to prioritize the kids, trading the regional director dream for a stable schedule. Our Coral Gables home felt like ours again, a sanctuary rebuilt through effort and time. Isabella bounced back, her resilience shining. She graduated high school with honors, earning a journalism scholarship to the University of Miami. Her counselor helped her channel the public humiliation into fierce determination, and she thrived, writing for the school paper. Lucas found his footing through soccer, his anger easing with every goal he scored. I attended every game, cheering from the sidelines, grateful for his growing confidence. But the scars remained. Both kids carried a quiet caution, a legacy of their mother's choices. A new presence entered our lives. Elena Diaz, a softball coach I met at Lucas' soccer tournament. She was steady, kind, and understood the weight of single parenthood, having raised her nephew after her sister's passing. We connected over shared stories of guiding kids through tough times, and our coffee meetups turned into something deeper. Elena never pushed to replace Sophia, but became a trusted friend to Isabella and Lucas, offering them stability I couldn't alone. 6 months ago, we started dating, her calm strength anchoring us all. Sophia reached out last spring, her voice shaky over the phone. Daniel, I need to see the kids, she said. I'm trying to make things right. She'd had the baby, a girl, Mia, born prematurely and now living with Sophia's sister in Tampa. The pregnancy had complicated her health, and she sounded fragile, regret lacing her words. I was firm but fair. They're adults now, Sophia. It's their call. I gave her Isabella's and Lucas' numbers, warning her not to pressure them. Respect their boundaries, I said. She agreed, but when she called, both kids declined to meet. Isabella texted me after. I don't need her apologies. I needed her then, not now. Lucas was quieter but echoed her sentiment, focusing on his upcoming soccer season. I met Sophia one final time at a Tampa cafe, at her request, to discuss legal paperwork. She handed me a letter for the kids, her hands unsteady. I know I failed them, she admitted. Carlos was a mistake, the money was worse. I thought I was building something better for us. Her eyes searched mine for forgiveness, but I had none to give, not for her sake. I let go of the anger for me and the kids, I said. We've moved on. She nodded, accepting the finality, and left the cafe, her steps slow. Back home, life bloomed. Isabella landed an internship at a Miami news outlet, her articles sharp and fearless. Lucas made varsity soccer, his coach praising his leadership. Elena and I grew closer, planning a family trip to Key West with the kids. At a team barbecue, Lucas introduced Elena as Dad's girlfriend, a small grin breaking through his usual reserve. Isabella teased me later, "She's good for you, Dad." For us. Their acceptance felt like a victory, a testament to the family we'd forged from the wreckage. Sophia's probation ended last month, and she moved to Orlando, starting over as a receptionist. She sent birthday cards to the kids, unopened but acknowledged. I didn't push them to respond. Forgiveness was their journey, not mine. My own healing came through showing up, for Lucas' games, Isabella's deadlines, and Elena's quiet support. I'd learned that family isn't defined by who leaves, but by who stays. One evening, as we grilled in the backyard, Isabella raised a glass of lemonade. "To us," she said, looking at me, Lucas, and Elena. "We made it." Lucas clinked his glass, and Elena squeezed my hand. The moment was simple, profound, a life rebuilt not on grand gestures, but on presence. Sophia's choices cost her a family, but mine ensured ours endured. I'd forgiven her, not to absolve her, but to free us for this. Laughter, connection, a future unshadowed by her betrayal.